everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pinpointe Unfiltered. I'm Rachel.
And it's your boy Josh, the realtor of realtors. How's everybody doing today?
It
Monday.
gets me every time you
And
do that.
let's get some energy.
Yeah, live
Yay.
studio audience.
Yeah, well, we're
Woo!
we're still underfunded, so we don't have sound effects just yet. But don't worry, when you pop up for the reunion show, we'll like have bottle girls, sparkles, sound effects, all
Flower
that
girls.
stuff.
Oh my god.
Listen,
Awesome.
a man can dream. What can I say? Um, so Rachel, who do we have on the show today? Who's this guy?
So, Tom DeRose, he is, I want to say, the CEO and founder of Panda Guarantee, which is like a third party, well, not like, is a third party guarantor service. If you are familiar with New York rentals, you should be familiar with third party guarantors, but Panda Guarantee is a new player.
So
So, Tom,
the new players on the block. I like this.
yeah,
Let's
Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're building, and,
Yeah. Well,
whatever
thanks for having
else.
me on the show. First of all, I've done a few podcast appearances in my life, and it's always like a fun experience. You guys seem
Cool.
like you have a more fun and like free form
Yeah.
format than I've had before, which is great. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
Pa-
this is strictly for a good time, honestly.
Honestly,
cool.
I'm not gonna say what I was thinking when you kept saying strictly because in my head I have
You see how fast these things happen, how we start veering to like the dark side of things.
I'm not
Um,
gonna say it, but you know who my mom and my aunt are.
but before we get down that rabbit hole,
It went was it even a minute?
not even a
1
minute
minute in.
into this, not even a minute into this. So Tom,
Yeah.
how long have you guys been around? Panda Guarantee.
Well, the Panda brand has been around for a while. Before I did this, and still ongoing, I run a company with my co-founder called Housing Panda. So keeping that Panda theme, which is a student housing company. And that's
Mm,
something I've run for a few years, ever since I was in college, actually, which is a good business, but it's like pretty capital intensive and limited in how fast you can expand. And I kind of found myself running the company, and then everyone had their job and they were doing it well. All of a sudden, I realized I don't really have that much to do, and we don't have enough money to do something big. So I'm just kind of sitting around all day. Um, and that's what got me thinking again about guarantor insurance, like
mhm.
third party guarantors, which I had used when I first came to New York. And I was so frustrated with the whole experience because they denied me. And then I went to a different third party guarantor and they requested like 1,000 documents.
Hmm.
And this was just to get the guarantee. It's like not even to get the apartment.
Mhm.
Uh, and I was a student at the time. I had a few roommates, and we kind of felt like we were the ideal customer. Like, okay, we just got into college, living off campus all together. At the time, our parents were supporting us. So it seems like we're not super high risk, but they treated us so poorly. And then it was so expensive, um, which turned into just like a long term resentment I had towards the guarantors, insurance. Rhino wasn't so big back then, but it's developed into a resentment of Rhino too, which are the three big guarantor companies out there. Um, and I just thought when I had the time, I was like, okay, look, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to figure out how this business works. Going to get all the licensing, going to make partnerships with underwriters. And I thought it would be like a 3 month process, but it took well over a year, like a year and a half, just to get
Hmm.
licensed, just to
Oh
get
wow.
approved to do this. Yeah. Um, it's like not surprising there's only 3 companies besides us.
That's crazy that it's taken that long just to get licensed. But in that time,
Yeah.
were you also doing like business development and trying to like get partnerships and get your name out there?
Yeah. Like I was a little bit worried that I'd get ahead of the game and go to a
Mhm.
landlord and say, "Hey, work with us. We're great in these ways." And then they
Not be
ask,
able to.
"Okay, yeah." Then they say, "Oh, let's do it today."
Right.
But we finally gotten to the point where we can start building those landlord relationships. Just
Yeah.
tomorrow, I have a meeting with a pretty large property manager in New York City. hopefully we can convince them to try us out.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
Don't
so
forget to tell
it's
them Pinpoint sent you.
I will. I'll tell them Pinpoint sent us.
Did Pinpointe send you?
No, it didn't, but
No,
say it.
I'll say it anyway.
Jeez. Like,
No, I
it's
don't
so
know. You guys have been
they're not
talking. I don't know if you
listen,
actually answered.
if they trust me, Tom, we are prepared to answer all calls. We don't have those problems now. We're not as worried about answering the calls.
Yeah.
We're more worried about the phone ringing. So
Well,
yeah,
Yeah,
help the phone ring for us and it'll
for
be
sure.
great.
no, but I was gonna say like we can totally like I can't believe I'm gonna say this on the podcast, but um we're very big on fake it till you make it people.
Yeah.
And we have been known to maybe embellish things. Um not
Me
just it
mostly about my good looks when I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
that one's verified very easily.
I
Don't
like
flatter.
this
Don't
guy.
flatter the man.
This guy is
Um
the man. You know what? All
but like
guarantor services are going through you now.
Oh, they will. They will.
but no, I'm saying like, we I'll give a personal example. I won't put our company in the spot. Um
Mhm.
People looking for jobs and shit, like
Yeah.
I've always been like a reference for people. People have been references for me, whether
Mhm.
or not they were legitimate. It's a whole nother thing. So
Yeah.
happy to be a reference for you and be like, yeah, we totally work with Panda Guarantee. Like, if it helps get you in the door with landlords and vice versa, like,
Yeah.
it's so hard. It's so hard to break into New York City landlords. So, I'm always trying to talk to all prop tech founders that I know and just be like, let's just grab them by the neck.
Mhm.
Let's storm the Capitol, as they kind of say. Like, let's
Yeah. Well, let's not say that. That
arm in
actually did.
Yeah,
arm.
storm.
That actually happened. So let's not talk about that.
You know what I mean. It's the takeover that we're trying to
Storm
that we're
the
trying to have.
Bastille.
Yes, the
Yes,
best
I
deal. We
think
could talk about that.
that's the
I think
best
that's
way.
old enough. It's not current events, so can't get
Yes,
in
they
trouble.
still celebrate it every year.
So
My
that you
hair
were
is
like,
doing something weird.
Rachel was mentioning, kind of fake it till you make it, and
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with her recently where, um, that first year that when we started,
Mhm.
it was like, yeah, we're co-founders and like now we're the bosses.
Mhm.
It was like playing pretend for like that first year where we're like, yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
bosses, but like we're really just going through the motions and trying to like,
Bosses of what?
like exactly pretty much.
Mhm.
Um, did you feel like something similar when you were first starting out where, it's like, yes, you have this idea of what you want to be and you're kind of just like playing a role. Is
Yeah.
that something that you felt as well?
Um, I still feel that all the time. Fortunately, my co-founder is older than I am and has a lot more experience under his belt. He's in his late 30s. I'm in my early 20s, so I kind of bring the uh, like youthful vigor and ability to delude
You're
myself as to
making
our
us
future.
sound so old.
Listen,
You guys aren't old.
sheesh.
Well,
Talk to my
I'm in my
knees.
late 30s and this man's in his early 40s and you're talking about someone that's so much older than you in their 30s.
Well, compared to me, at least, he kind of he
Mhm.
like is in his role and
Mhm.
100% understands what needs to happen and how to act like a boss. So when I work with my co-founder John, I think I do feel like that, but it doesn't really feel like imposter syndrome
Mhm.
because he's there acting like the boss and is the boss. So I can kind of piggyback off that sometimes and be like, okay, this is the attitude necessary to take. This is how we have to tell employees or fire employees, um,
Yeah.
which is never fun. I really, really hate that. But
Really.
yeah.
I was gonna say that's my
It's my favorite thing to do.
Oh
It
no.
sounds horrible, but you know what? So I used to when I was in my early 20s and in like my first like real job.
Yeah.
Because I had jobs before that, but they didn't really matter. So in my
Hmm.
first real job, I managed people,
Hmm.
and I had to fire. That's the first person I had to fire. I was just like, I knew I had to fire them, but I didn't want to. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do it, and I had to, like, there was no way around it. They were really bad at their job, and they were putting me and the company in a bad spot.
Yeah.
So, um, I got some really good advice from people that I worked with. Shout
Mhm.
out to my sister. Um, and she, like, taught me the best way to fire people, which is, like, um, positive, like, stacking. So, like, you start with positive, then
Mhm.
go into the negative, and then end on a positive.
Mhm.
Um, but, like, don't make it personal. Just be like, "Hey, there's this thing or whatever." And then, so I did it. I got really good at being able to fire people, and then I started to enjoy it because if you're getting fired, I've
Yeah.
given you X amount of chances. I've
Mhm.
told you what your problem is, and you're still doing it. Like, I have no more time for you, and you're wasting
Mhm.
my time. And now I want to get rid of you. So that's what
Yeah.
I mean with I enjoy firing people, because by the time it's gotten to that point, like, you suck,
Mhm.
right? Like, I'm a very like um I treat people like, peers, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
your boss, but, like, I'm still gonna be here talking shit, um, and make jokes. At the end of the day, yes, I'm still your boss, so there's certain boundaries, but I'm also gonna coach you, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
like, this is what you're not doing, or this is what you're doing wrong, right? And this is how we can, change that. How can I help with that?" And I give people usually about 3 chances before I kick them out.
Yeah.
So by that time, I'm just like, "You've squandered all of your opportunity."
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so nice and so lovely. I was taught the exact opposite.
God.
Make a scene, make it known,
Oh, man.
scare everybody else
No,
into
please don't do
place.
that. Don't do that ever. If you do that here, I'm firing you. Fuck that.
Make a scene, make it known, make sure everybody else is in place. Like is on their P's and Q's afterwards was what I was taught. Like Rachel, kind of very I'm like one of the guys, right?
Mhm.
Like as like a team member. Um, and I remember an early job I had where um like the boss is like,
Mhm.
hey, you're in a manager position now, like you need to like separate yourself. And that was like basically my baptism in
Mhm.
becoming middle management, where it's like, all right, you're not one of their friends, you got to show them you're not one of their friends.
Yeah.
Make a scene. I'm not going to go into the details, but
Yeah, that's performative. That's not helpful
it's
at all.
not it's not what I really want to do. It's
Mhm.
just how I was taught.
Mhm.
And then now, like I have now in a position of power, I get to choose how I want to like conduct it and really send someone off.
Yeah.
Let's not
Um,
humiliate people.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
Not
into
humiliate
like
people.
I don't want to honestly.
Mhm.
But kind of like along the lines of what Rachel said was like, if we're at this point, it's because I've given you multiple chances and I think I speak very clearly when I tell people, hey, this is how I feel, this is what I want.
Mhm.
Um, so if we get to the point where I have to fire you, you've heard many times what you should be doing. And then at that point I've lost all patience and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
explode.
Mhm.
Um, but
That's
let's not stay on the subject of firing people because
Yeah.
well,
that's
I
that's
was gonna
death.
say, like,
That's dapper.
when you do have to fire people, Tom, like, you'll
Mhm.
figure out what works best for you. And obviously, like, not everybody's gonna enjoy it. We're little, like, sadistic human beings, Josh and I.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know about Josh, but I've definitely gotten fired before.
Mhm.
Twice actually. Um, actually from my last 2 jobs.
Mhm. Wow.
Um, yeah, actually I've been reading a lot lately that founders get fired a lot because,
Mhm.
they have
It's
opinions,
Yeah.
yeah,
which
it's the mentality. I can't shut up sometimes.
which is me. I definitely have opinions if things aren't being done right. So, but because I've been fired, well, actually I got fired after firing people, but, um, I could see, like, even as someone that has gotten fired, like, it was deserved.
Mhm.
And they should have absolutely fired me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in one of the cases, maybe not so, but whatever. But when you get to that point where you have to fire people, like, yes, the first few times is going to be uncomfortable, but I think once you figure out the best way to do it for you,
Mhm.
um, I think it'll be a lot easier. Like, not necessarily something that you look forward to, but
Mhm.
not something that you dread.
Mhm. Yeah. I think, like, I benefit a lot from having the co-founder there
Mhm,
in that I feel like a lot of the time we are just figuring things out, where we're like hiring for a role that is not a set role yet. And we just have a general need for someone to like handle customer support or a general need for someone to be our front end developer. And then, like, in the process of figuring out exactly what that role is, I almost feel like we have probably not done a good enough job in giving people the structure to succeed, where they just weren't told what to do. They weren't given like very discrete
mhm,
tasks. And then I feel dissatisfied at their performance. And I'm asking myself, like, is that because they're just doing a bad job, which some people do? Or is it because I've failed to provide the structure and then if the failure is on my part, what am I firing someone for when I need to improve how we're structuring the company? Um, and if I was on my own, I think I would fail at that all the time, or just not giving people enough structure. But fortunately, um, like with experience comes knowing how to fill
mhm,
the roles and what they occupy. It's made things a lot easier to look at like this person's performance in relation to what they know they need to do, and
mhm.
it just doesn't match up. Um,
Yeah. I
and in
mean,
those
that takes a
cases, I've
lot
been
of
able to do it.
yeah, that's good. It takes a lot of self-awareness to be
Mhm,
able to see that, right? Because a lot of people would just be like, "Oh, they're not fucking figuring it out. They need to figure it
mhm,
out, and so they need to go." Um, but it's great that that you recognize like, "Hey, I didn't set them up for success. I don't even think
yeah,
they know what they're supposed to do because I don't even know what they're supposed to do."
mhm,
Um, so yeah, I think I was actually just at an event the other day with like that was HR, VC, blah blah blah.
mhm,
And this one person was like hiring is half of the job. The other half of the job is onboarding
mhm,
and making sure that they know everything that they need to do and how to do it.
mhm,
But it's hard it's hard in an early stage startup because I've been in those. Obviously, this is one. Because you kind of just need like generalists and people to
yeah,
wear many hats,
You need
and it's
bodies.
hard it's
bodies.
hard to you need you need bodies that can think for themselves
Yeah,
and stretch themselves across different, like, business lines,
mhm,
um so there's like some people that like excel in an early stage startup and some that don't because some people really do need more structure. And then
mhm,
there's people like me that are just like, you throw me at something, like wind me up, throw me at it, I'll figure it out. And in the process, I'll see like 50 other things that I can be doing to make
mhm,
things better, whether they're within my purview or not. Um, but not everybody's like that, and like having trying to have those conversations in interviews would be try like helpful, like, hey, like, what would you do, like, do you need more structure, do
mhm,
you like, you can ask that straight up, and I've asked that in interviews, like, for people that I was hiring in early stage companies, like, how much structure do you need me to tell you everything that you need to do, because if that's the case, this is not going to be a fit,
mhm,
right? And people respect that, right?
yeah,
People respect you being upfront with them, and before you hire them.
yeah, definitely before set expectations right and everything else in life goes really
Yeah,
well.
for sure. Like,
Usually. Usually.
Usually.
you would hope.
Usually.
So I have a question. You said that you started with student housing and you're
Yeah.
still doing student housing.
Yes, we still operate student housing, a lot of different cities,
Is
New
that
York.
here? Oh, okay. Here in New
It's
York.
in yeah, here in New York, DC, Miami, Charleston, Austin, and Las Vegas.
Oh,
So do you guys
nice.
like own that's really cool. Do you guys own the property and you just like rent it, or you
We
like
we manage the
arbitrage it?
property.
Okay.
So we go to property managers, we or property owners, and we say, "Hey, we'd like to manage your properties. We'll operate them as student housing on this model, usually renting for between 4.5 and 9 months, and then
Okay.
sometimes the summer interns as well." Uh, New York is definitely our like bread and butter. It's the best
Yeah.
market in the world. There's so many students, so many summer interns, so we do pretty well here. New Jersey as well, but that's kind
Do
of
you do this is purely selfish because we
yeah.
do relocation. So do you guys do just only students, or would you do
Um,
like people that just need temporary short-term housing?
we are open to everyone. We don't
Hmm.
discriminate based on age or employment or
Good
student
answer.
status. Good answer. But it's like marketed towards students, so anyone can apply. We
Okay.
don't consider anything but their ability to qualify for the apartment. But it's like 90% of our clients are students, at least in New York. Other cities, it's sometimes different.
So in terms of like the vibe of the
Yeah.
properties, is it like it's kind of like dorm feel?
Yeah. Kind of like dorm feel, young people. Usually we take like higher bedroom counts, 4 or 5 bedrooms, and fill them with people who are all in the same year, who are just like, especially international students who have a lot of trouble qualifying for apartments. It's another
Hmm.
third party guarantor connection. Um,
We have a lot of
yeah,
those.
yeah,
Cool. We need to offline connect on that
yeah, absolutely.
because we could probably throw you a lot of clients.
I'm very interested in talking about that offline. I have many ideas. I have many
He's like,
ideas.
Great. Are you busy after this? Cool. How did you get into that to start? Like if you said your early 20s and you've been doing this now for a little bit. So what
Mhm.
were you like 18 when you started?
Yeah, I think just after I turned 19,
Okay.
um, I started a completely different company with some college buddies of mine, uh, who that business venture did very poorly. We had absolutely no idea what you're doing. There's like levels of incompetence where
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can
But
you can be
but there's a
like,
level of confidence
yeah,
that
we had
you'll never
insane
beat that
confidence.
confidence. You'll never beat that confidence ever.
Yeah, we knew we were going to make the next like huge startup.
Sure.
But really, in retrospect, there was like so much information we didn't know that there was zero chance of that venture succeeding. And then with one of the people I did that first thing with, we did a second thing and that failed. And then the third thing we finally landed on was student housing as just a need we eminently saw right in front of us. And then this was like right when COVID hit, when we were first trying to scale this. And that gave us like a lot of landlords who were willing to try something new. Because all
Yeah.
of a sudden, you guys remember the city completely cleared out overnight and
I
rents
was one of
dropped
the
like
people that left.
50%.
Oh,
Yeah.
please don't remind me of those dark days.
The dark ages of New
Oh
York.
my lord, that was so scary. Honestly, there have been only a handful of times that I questioned my decision
Hmm.
to be a real estate agent, and that was one of them. I
That
was like,
was one of them.
what am I doing out here? This is not for the faint of hearts.
Yeah. Well, for us, it was like the golden age
Yeah,
because
and
all
I
of a
was
Yeah.
like,
sudden,
yes, pour it on me,
yeah.
please. Yes, and I get it. I completely get it. So with that, I
Hmm.
know there has to have been some times where you kind of second guessed yourself. The fact that
Hmm.
you've had multiple, shots at the apple, as they say, right?
Hmm.
Um, talk us through like the mindset of like when you're at the pit of despair, how do you get yourself back up for other, founders and entrepreneurs out there? Because we all go through it at some point.
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
Um, like I'd say the lowest point I've ever reached is when we were operating this business. At first, we got some upfront payments from clients for a whole year's worth of rent. Um, and then we had like the obligation to transfer a high percentage of that to the landlord that we kind of like spent all our margin right at the beginning thinking we would be fine, and we just didn't do accounting. So all of a sudden, like December 2019, we were out of money basically. And I had like felt really confident. I went to my family. I was like, yeah, I got something going on that's great. I don't need any money anymore. I don't need rent or food. I got it.
Never say those things.
Yeah.
They might
I mean,
hold you. They
it
might hold you to it.
that it felt great at the time because it was like, yes, I get to be independent, make my own money. And then I never went back to ask for more money, but it was like close and really skimping by to pay my rent and just barely making it. And eventually it worked out. But like, I remember one of those days, I just called my dad and I was like, listen, I don't think anything is working out. I've made a huge mistake. This is the most stressful the most stressful I've ever been in my entire life by a huge margin. I just want to go home. And my dad was like, all right, you just do what you need to do. And then I hung up the phone and I went to sleep. And the next day I just said, okay, let's deal with the problems and fix them as they come. And eventually things started working out. It's just now I don't feel stressed about anything. I have like huge problems that are way worse than back then all the time. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, facts.
So
Doesn't bother me anymore.
what was that tipping point that changed how things went?
Just like a small things added up into one big thing over time, like small wins that didn't seem super significant, that I didn't think really moved the needle, kind of
Mhm.
started coming together into like, oh, this works here, and all of a sudden we're getting more business and from this direction we didn't really expect. And we figured out how to get advertising right here, where before we were just stumbling around and losing money the whole time. Um, it's just like the knowledge of how your business works as that builds up and you can start operating it really consistently and no wasted time on discovering how to do that.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, everything fell into place. And I don't feel down so much anymore, but I totally empathize with that feeling. And all I can say is like persevere. All that
Just
matters
keep
is that you
pushing.
don't give up and eventually things will work.
From your lips to God's ears, as they say.
No, yes. So what is you are one of four now, I think it is, of like the guarantor services. What makes you
Four,
different?
yeah.
What
Well,
makes you
there's
different from
go ahead.
like I'm talking about the main ones, right? So you have
Yeah.
like Rhino, Insurant, and the
Mhm.
The
guarantors.
guarantors.
We will
The
not
big
speak their names ever again on the rest of this episode.
never
Um,
again, ever.
like not I said on this episode, we got to do business with everybody. What makes you different? What like sets you aside from the old boys?
Yeah. Uh, for the tenant, value proposition is super simple. Uh, we're cheaper. We cost
Yeah.
less than the competition. It's a commodity. It's like you're buying oil. And if someone's selling you oil for $1 and someone's selling it for 90 cents, you want to buy from who's selling it for 90 cents, so long as it's the same product. And we do
Yep.
have the same product. Um, for the landlords, we have a couple things that make us a lot better. One is super friendly claims. Biggest complaint I've heard, especially from small landlords, is that when they have a loss, they go to the insurance company and they say, hey, I have a loss. And then they're jerked around for months and months. That's how insurance companies work.
Mhm.
We could work like that. And there's a small financial incentive to do so. But with a product like this, it actually makes a lot more sense just to be super friendly with claims because the maximum loss is not super high, depending on like how much monthly rent is being paid. And then two, we have a way better underwriter.
Hmm.
The An organization called AM Best ranks and rates underwriters based on their financial strength. And while as the guarantors, Insurant, Rhino, they're all A or A minus, we're the only ones with an A plus underwriter, which
Woohoo!
is great. Um,
That's awesome.
it does go up to A plus plus, but there's like 3 companies in the whole world that are like that. So
And
Don't worry,
so
pretty highly.
you
what is
guys will be there
what
shortly.
well
Yeah,
how
soon
does that
enough.
distinction matter? Does it matter to the
It,
tenant? Does it matter to
it
the
it
landlord?
means we're safer. It
Okay.
means we have stronger financial backing, less likelihood that there's a big financial crisis, and then we say, "Oh, sorry, we went bankrupt. We can't pay out your losses."
Gotcha. So you
A
guys
plus is
basically
like,
are an insurance company, right?
yeah, we are.
Where did
And
you get all of the capital to build, to have
so
such a
we're backed by a larger insurance company.
Okay.
We are just like the front for them, where
Okay.
we interact with clients, we handle claims, we process
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
We don't bear
Just
the
like
risk.
financial technology companies like Ramp and
Exactly like
Brex and
fintech,
Mercury that are not banks, but
but there's a
yeah.
bank behind them.
I gotcha.
Exactly.
That's
Uh,
cool.
and then also, which is pretty important, we send clients to landlords that work with us rather than the other way around. So the traditional relationship is a tenant needs a apartment. They go to rent them, they realize they need a guarantor, and the landlord's like, use insurance, use the
Mhm.
guarantors, use Rhino, um, which is like the freest and most valuable advertising you can get of the landlord sending clients who need this product, who are ready to rent to
Mhm.
them. The value for for like the guarantors, insurance, Rhino is huge, but the landlord, of course, isn't really compensated.
Right.
Um, the way we operate primarily is we pre-qualify tenants, and then we have a list of buildings we work with, and we say, hey, here's the list of who we work with. You should go to these buildings. And then the buildings are getting tenant applications who are pre-qualified, so they don't have to have uncertainty whether this person will be approved. And when they want to rent, they don't have to go through any approval process. They're already approved. Saves a lot of time. So we send leads, we send pre-qualified tenants. That's something
That's really
none of the
interesting.
other companies do.
What if, like in our situation, right? Like let's say we
Yeah.
had a client, um, they're not looking at the buildings that you already work with,
Hmm.
but they want to get pre-qualified with you guys.
Yeah.
Could we then take them to a landlord and be like, "Hey, these people use Panda Guarantee. They're approved with Panda Guarantee.
Yeah.
Will you take them?"
Absolutely. That's what we encourage because we want to work with more landlords, of course.
Mhm.
So our like primary vector for reaching them is a tenant gets pre-approved for us or applies with a building we don't work with, and then we go to that landlord and say, "Hey, here's someone who wants to rent from you right now." And also we're way better than the competition, and
Mhm.
also it's Tom personally who's speaking with you, not a low-level support rep who has no
That's right.
decision-making authority.
That's right.
Uh,
Talking to the boss. That's right. I like that.
Exactly. We're small enough where on our landlord dashboard, I put my personal phone number on the bottom and I say, call Tom 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, I'm always
16
available.
hours.
This
Love
time
that.
next year, you're gonna start erasing that number. Like, listen, I don't
I
need you
think
people
so.
calling me.
I think so. But for now, it's like the volume of calls is low enough where I can handle it. And that means if someone has a problem, which let's face it, a lot of people have problems with every product all the time.
Mhm.
You're not dealing with like first an AI and then the low level support rep and then the manager and then the specific department that can help you. It's just
Sure.
Tom.
Mhm.
And I'm not, of course, not the only one handling things. I don't actually issue the policies personally. I don't handle all our back end, but I talk to people because that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, yeah,
So
you're the face.
the face,
My
exactly.
guy.
And
I love
that's
that.
fun and good for the customer too.
Now, for these landlords that you don't have in under your umbrella just yet,
Hmm.
I take a client. I'm saying, hey, he's approved by Panda.
Yeah.
Um, how fast could you get that deal to pass through for a landlord that you don't have already, that you're already not working with?
Um, it depends on who they are. If it's
Okay.
a smaller landlord or a company that manages, like, let's say, less than 10 buildings, usually with a phone call, you can get routed to the decision maker. And when a decision maker has heard our pitch, we've never had someone who says no. It's always, oh, that sounds
Well,
great.
that's
Let's
good.
try it out. Because, of course, the landlord isn't even paying for this product. So
Mhm.
they aren't super wedded to like a long term contract to
Sure.
what they have already. Um, the only exception are larger landlords, which of course are a lot of properties in New York. Uh, to put it in context, we got a application for Durst, which is a pretty large landlord in
Mhm.
New
Mhm.
York, one of their properties like 3.5 weeks ago. And um, we're able to get a meeting with them only tomorrow. So almost a month before we can
Yeah.
get a meeting with the right decision maker, which is reasonable because it's a big corporation, but that's just how long it takes.
Yeah, but
So
that's not reasonable
honestly,
for a renter.
it's not reasonable for a
For
renter.
the actual renter,
For
it's a little tough.
for that
Um,
actual renter, it's a little tough, exactly. Which is why I usually will not. I'll just tell people like, listen, if you're going to a big property manager in New York and they say they don't accept us, don't bother waiting.
Mhm.
Ask them who approves them. Is it the guarantors? Is it insurance? Go apply with them.
Yeah,
Uh, but a lot of people apply with us because they get arbitrarily denied from the guarantors, insurance, or Rhino, which we're also a lot more willing to be sympathetic to extenuating circumstances, which
sure.
is someone has like 620 credit. It's not that bad, but not that great. And then the other companies will just look at that and say, "Oh, we're not going to issue a policy," whereas they could if they wanted to, but
Right.
they just don't want to bother seeing like, "Oh, is this person's credit score not super high because they have back rent due, or is it because they just have student loans and like one credit card from college?"
Oh,
There's like a
medical
very
debt
or
kind of,
medical
yeah.
debt. Yeah,
Mhm.
we've been able to approve people who had like 525 credit score or something like that,
Wow.
something really
Alright, so
really
I'm gonna
bad.
say something that Josh always says. Okay, so in this
Yeah.
case, instead of telling them to go to one of the other 3, which we won't name anymore,
Yeah.
you're gonna tell them, "Look, you're gonna go to Pinpointe. Pinpointe is
Yeah.
gonna help you find an apartment with a landlord that might not accept you yet, but a landlord that
Mhm.
is most likely going to accept you faster."
Mhm.
Because we do work with a lot of, like, mom and pop landlords,
Yeah.
so we can get you in the door a lot faster.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're gonna try to do that before we have clients,
Mhm.
so we we can
yeah, we're gonna try to
cut that out. But
pave the road.
yeah, but in the in the off chance that you have somebody that gets rejected from all the other ones, and you guys can approve them, but they want somebody else, like a specific landlord, send them
Mhm.
to us. We can try and find one of our landlords to take them.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
wish I would have met you like 3, 4 months ago. Whew. I had a tough client out there that like
Oh my god, didn't get approved
wasn't
for
approved
anything.
for any of
Mhm.
them, and it was because her current landlord raised the rent so high, she
Mhm.
kind of just fell behind everything.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, she was paying her rent on time, but everything else like kind of fell, on the back burner.
Yeah.
And when it came down to like she had to leave and find a new place, it became very difficult for her.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I went like honestly, I think we like applied to like at least 3, almost 4 places.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was a lot.
It was a lot, and I like thinking outside the box. I tried everything.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, now like hearing that we got new boys on the block is amazing because you know I as much as people say the broker is all about like trying to get people money, like trying to get
Mhm.
people's dollars. We do want to help. Like obviously we have a business to run and
Yeah.
we have to like stay open, but I come from humble beginnings. Like I have no one to judge anyone. So to
Mhm.
help people that come from places like where I come from, sound like me, look like me is it's always been a dream of, that's why I want to go into my own, that's why we wanted my own business. So we can help some of our people as well.
Mhm.
And you are making it a lot easier. And obviously we're going to do our best to try to promote and help and, drag you to the finish line if we have to, because you are not going anywhere, buddy. Sorry. You have just been stuck with us.
I totally agree. It's like
Did you just put shades on?
no,
No
it's the
transition, I
sun
Oh,
think.
you have
came up.
transitions like me.
I got
Okay, okay. Because I was like, "Wait a
I
minute."
was like, this guy got really cool all of a sudden. Like,
And I was like, "Was he wearing glasses before?" No, you're cool, you're
funny.
cool.
he
You're
started
totally
talking his
fine.
shit, and then the shades come out. It's like, listen, we're doing big things out here.
Yeah, that's cool. So there's I've seen recently there's another player on the
Mhm.
board. Um, they just had like an event or something, like a launch, or I don't know. Have you heard of them? They're called Cosigned.
Cosign. I've heard of Cosign.
Yeah, I've been trying to, like, talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of the co-founders finally got back to me and was like, in the nicest way possible, "I don't have time to talk to you this year. Let's try
Mm-hmm.
next year."
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get back to me in 3 months.
And I was like, "I'm trying to bring you business. Like, I'm trying to bring you guys landlords." And he's like, "Cool, let's touch base in January." And so now I'm just like, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm gonna chill with Panda."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll choose my alliances the right way. People who are going to pick up the phone. Yes.
Seriously, give me the time of day, bro. I'm trying to do you a favor.
Tom still gives out his personal number. Are you kidding me? I love that.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm going straight to the top, which is, that's what clients want to hear, honestly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I know the guy that is going to get you what you absolutely need. We don't
Mhm.
have to go through, the secretary and like you said, the low level employee.
Yeah.
We could go straight to the top and try to get this deal done a lot faster, which
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest thing for New York City real estate. It's about getting it done quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not first, who said that? Ricky Bobby? If you're not
If you're
first,
not
you're
first, you're
last.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely a real thing
I
Mm-hmm.
prefer Dominic Toretto.
for the
Winning
family.
winning is winning. Like, I almost had you doesn't count.
So Tom, what
Yeah.
what's in store for the future? Where you guys are, like, what are you guys projecting?
Um, we have more work to do on our website. The process as it currently is requires back end work done manually by employees, which is not scalable. And we've already started to reach the point where we're either hiring more people to handle applications that are coming in, or
Mhm.
we are just being slower with those applications, which is not what we want at all.
So you're trying to
Um,
automate some stuff?
we're almost done, actually. We have a few in house developers that work around the clock on making it happen. And almost everything is automated. That's the next step. And then beyond that, I've just been like attending a lot of in person events and
Mhm.
meeting people in the real estate space. And it is
Yes.
like you guys, exactly. It's like relatively easy to spin a quick conversation into a follow up meeting, into a let's try Panda out, into, oh, they're way better than the competition. Why would I ever bother using the guarantors again? I'm just going to tell my clients and my applicants to use Panda.
Yeah. So I know Josh told you we have a relationship with Spony.
Hmm.
Um I was talking to another prop tech founder recently. And we're thinking of hosting an event with Spony. We haven't told Spony this yet, but I'm sure they'll be open to it.
Stay tuned, Ann.
Yeah, and just wait, it's gonna happen. Um, would you be interested in something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I actually met Anne last Monday, actually. We were at a conference and she sat next to me and we started a conversation.
Oh,
So if
nice.
Anne is listening to this podcast, hi Anne.
Hi,
Um
Anne. We love you, Anne.
so definitely more points of contact there are super valuable.
Yeah. No, she's great. She's great. She's definitely invited us to a bunch of events.
Hmm.
Um, she was gracious enough to invite me to be on a panel at their last in-person event. Um, which was really cool. But yeah, I think one of the things that she's trying to do, which I think most landlords are some for some reason against, she's always trying to bring more vendors into the fold and be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, landlords, these companies can help us do our, like, do our business better."
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, like, every time I'm like, "Hey, can I introduce this person to you?" She's like, "Yeah, absolutely. Like, we need more vendor members. We need more people that can help us."
Hmm.
Um, especially because a lot of their landlord members are rent stabilized and they're really, really hurting right now.
Oh
So
yeah.
any way to make them more, like, cost efficient, um, I think she's really open to trying to like get more people, more landlords into.
Hmm.
So yeah, so like one of the things is um just trying to see like, hey, landlords, what is it that you guys need that we
Hmm.
can do for you? Like, where are you having your problems? So we want to have like an event kind of like that to be like, you know, have them tell us,
Hmm.
you know, what it is they need from us and other vendors, right? So that we can build our services and products around that.
Totally. I think that's an excellent idea.
Cool. So stay tuned for Tom and Anne. Cool. So what else? Where are you from? How about let's go into that.
I'm from Long Island originally,
Oh, you're not far.
so I'm not far. I'm New
He's a New
Yorker in the
Yorker.
sense
He's a New
New York
Yorker.
State.
Yeah.
uh, so I grew up there. I went to college here in Manhattan at Fordham, and
Nice.
I've stayed ever since. And by stayed, I mean I've moved every single year I've lived in the city.
Oh
Um,
my god.
Oh, you know what? Well,
I've
then we're definitely going to talk outside of this because you're the clients that we love, the repeat client.
moved every year.
Why do you move every year? That's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, like landlords jacking rent, roommates leaving and having to change the living situation, kind of has
It's
So
it's
what
the
you need
dads
is
just
of New
needed
York
to
City
move.
real estate.
Yeah,
you need a place just for yourself, man.
yeah. I have one now.
Oh, okay. So now
Finally.
you're not leaving
So
Now
anytime
you're not
soon.
I
leaving.
don't
Now,
anticipate leaving. We
okay.
don't know.
We don't know. Well, if
We
you
don't
hit it
know.
big tomorrow,
That's
maybe.
what I'm saying. We're like, look, you're gonna, as what the kids say, you're gonna get the bag, and then we'll, it becomes a penthouse that you're living in.
Yeah,
Get the
exactly.
bag.
Maybe.
Right on. All right.
So
Anybody that's listening, please don't move every year. Like
Don't
that
please
do it.
doesn't
don't.
that
And if
it's
you
not
do,
that we don't want to help
Rachel,
you.
Rachel, whoa, don't
Wait,
listen to
wait.
that crazy lady. Anyone
No.
listening, if you want to move every year, just call us. That's fine. We'll help you. We'll talk
Every
about
year.
Uh-huh.
it.
We'll help you. We'll also tell you maybe you should save that money and buy something in a few years. How about that? Josh, think
Mhm.
long
Like,
term.
well,
Stop thinking
listen,
short term.
I'm not counting people's dollars. So yes, if they want to move, you move, boo boo. Go ahead. I don't care. Just call me. That's what matters to me. Just pick up the phone, call us, hit up our boy Tom to get approved for like Panda Guarantee. It's gonna make
Mhm.
the process super easy, super smooth.
Super
Um,
easy.
yeah, like these are the things that we have to do. And like, if
Hell
you
yeah.
want to waste all your money, God bless. Like, make some more. Like, whatever.
No, don't move every year. I could not recommend it less.
It's such a headache.
I know some movers for you. Like, go ahead, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we know everybody that, we can make it as easy as possible. It still sucks.
Yeah, it still sucks. It's a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot
Yeah.
of wasted time.
Yeah, I'm yelling at my landlord right now, actually. I
I
sent a
pick
very stern email.
I pick up no more boxes and moving. I'm like, I got the
Oh
pillows.
yeah, I'm not allowed to move again.
Yeah, because I'm not helping any of like I'm too old for it at this point. I'm like, listen, either make a
Mhm.
lot more money so you could hire movers,
Or don't fucking
or
move.
or
Or don't
don't
move.
move, or let me know so I can plan my vacations properly.
Mhm.
Yeah, Josh has moved me like what, twice,
Three
three times?
times, twice, twice. So Tom, what do you want Panda to be in the next 5 years?
What do I want Panda to be in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
It's like renting, especially in New York, sucks so much, and moving sucks. It's so much
Mhm.
money. It's so much work. It's such an opaque process, and then all the time you encounter situations that just aren't fair. So I really want in like the next 5 years to build Panda into something that is just known for helping renters. Like I think the product is way overpriced. We're we're like 90% of the price, but I think it can go way lower for a lot of people. Um, in fact, I know that. And we can't lower it too early until we have a track record to justify lowering the price with. But in general, I want to make this product cheaper. And Therefore, I want to make renting cheaper and easier, especially for people who have the hardest time, which are people who need guarantors. So in 5 years, if like there are 100 people who know Tom as someone who's helped them, I think that'll be a huge win. And
I
then if
love
there
that.
are 1,000 people who are like, I had to use a guarantor, but a Panda Guarantee was okay, that'll be a win too. Um, yeah, that's my goal.
Um, I have a question because we deal with a lot of international relocations.
Hmm.
So we do also help a lot of people that, um, are down on their luck. But
Yeah.
a lot of our businesses is relocations as well. So what's the process for folks that don't have a social security number,
Hmm.
um, but they have a job offer or whatever it is? How would that work?
It's actually like kind of odd in that it's way easier and faster to apply if you
Really?
don't have a social security number, just because we're only allowed to base our decision off a few things. And that means um, if one of those things is missing, we just have to like put a question mark there and move on to the next. So if you
Hmm,
mark that you're an international applicant, for example, you don't have to do a credit check. And then um, you are priced according to someone who has like 650 credit, because that's kind of the average. But we just don't know what your credit actually is, and because of that, we don't check because we can't.
right. Do you take
So it's quick.
assets into consideration? Like if they have like really healthy bank accounts or
Yeah,
whatever, but
we
just in
do
a
take that.
different, even if it's in a different currency?
Yeah, even if it's in a different currency. Generally, for international applicants, the approval process is like really quick and
Okay.
easy, and they can get an immediate quote. Uh, it's always there's like very few complications. Usually, we can always approve someone um, if they have a job offer. Basically,
Cool.
no matter what their credit is, if they have a job, and then internationals, either students or new employees here in New York, it's very easy.
Awesome. All right.
Nice.
Um, I think we're, towards the end of our episode. Josh, Tom, is there anything else that you wanted to add before we wrap up?
No, thank you for having me on. This was really fun.
No, this is
Yeah,
great. Before we go, Tom, tell the people one last time where they can find you. Shameless plugs as much as you want. This is your time.
Yeah, my name's Tom DeRose. You can find me just by Googling my name, and I am the CEO of Panda Guarantee. You can find our company just by Googling it. I'm
cool.
super responsive, so message me anywhere, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. If you need guarantor insurance, send us a message, and I will help you out personally.
Hell yeah, love that.
Hell yeah. And Rach, where do the people find us?
Every fucking where.
Hoorah.
Um, our website, pinpoint.nyc, is probably the best place to find us. We also have a newsletter that you can subscribe to on our website. Um, we have a LinkedIn at Pinpoint Group, Instagram at Pinpoint Group with an underscore. You can find me, Rachel Fiegler, on LinkedIn. Um, and I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Oh, our
Not
podcast,
our
Pinpoint Unfiltered.
podcast.
Hell yeah, our podcast. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Awesome. And you know that you can find me also on LinkedIn at Josh Hernandez. But more than anywhere else, like always, you could find me out here in these streets, making these deals, connecting with the people. Awesome people like Tom. Tom, thank you
Hmm.
so, so much for like joining us today. We will definitely send as many clients your way and try to introduce you to as many landlords as possible. Uh, People out there, we love you. Thank you so, so much again for like tuning in. Like, subscribe, send us messages on the things that you want to hear us talk about. Or if you're like actually interested and want to like jump on the podcast and want to sit with us and talk shit, we love
Fuck
it.
it.
Uh Again, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Everybody have a
Tom.
great day.
Peace.
Bye.